What's happening, everybody? Thank you for being here at All Access Live with Kevin Rankin. I hope you're having a fantastic beginning of 2025. We've had a couple of months off. If you were here last, you got to hang with Mike Stern just before he headed out on the road, Dennis Chambers, and we talked a little bit about phenomenal drummers. And I would be remiss if I didn't just tell you that today's guest is not only a phenomenal drummer, but he's a producer. He's a producer, a singer, a rapper. He's got an engineering background. He's also got a book out. We'll talk about all that first. I want to make sure that I thank my sponsor. If you go to 5starguitars.com, you'll see that the greatest guitar shop on the planet, as named by the NAMM Association, North American Music Merchants Association, is located right here in Oregon. So if you're interested in playing guitar, you want to get accessories or anything like that, go to 5starguitars.com. Make sure that you enter All Access Live in the promo code. You'll get 15% off everything you see right there. You're going to save not only that, but there's no sales tax in Oregon. So we're saving you a bunch of money, and hopefully you buy a guitar, you get some lessons, which they do right there in the shop. They also do virtual lessons and potentially get you an opportunity to perform with my next guest. So all the way from the last shows that he just had with Eminem, you've seen him out with Jay-Z, you've seen him with Jill Scott, and he just popped into a studio in Philadelphia, I believe. I've got Boots. What's happening, buddy?
What's up, fellas? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, am I right? Is that Philly? Is that where you're at right now?
Yep, Philadelphia.
Awesome, yep, very cool, man. From what I understood from Ryan, you know, that was home. That's where you grew up, and so you honed your chops there as a Philly musician. Yeah. And I've known you as a drummer, but as I was doing a little research, man, I saw that you've got a bigger pedigree than just that, man. So, excuse me. How long you been in this game?
Man, for a minute. I don't know. I would say like, and excuse me, I'm getting like a little weird cold, but I'm good though.
Some travel, huh?
What traveling? Yeah. The air, the everything, just whatever. But excuse me, I'm back. But yeah, I've been doing this for over maybe like 25 years, something like that. Right. As far as drumming, 25 years plus whatever, and production and artistry, I would say about maybe 15 years, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, that's my love, man.
There's some great videos out there of you fronting projects, but as a drummer, the joke is, right, for us drummers that we're kind of shoved in the back, we don't get as much attention, and a lot of the artists that you've been playing with, I noticed that a lot of those kind of cats do give a little more love to drummers. There's like a spot in the night at least where they can show your chops a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
the most recent gig, Eminem give you a little bit of time to show your stuff.
Well, no, but that's okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it be known that I'm there. So, there's a time and a place for that, I would say. There's gigs where they give you that freedom, and you be gracious of that, and you take it when you get the chance. But when you're playing with people, hip hop, a lot of times hip hop doesn't really give you that freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't give you that the drum life. But it's more so about just locking the groove and and letting that artist do their thing, because when you're rapping, of course, you don't want the snare and the kick to be doing things. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, I'm trying to stay within the pocket of, like my rapping. So you don't really get it that much in hip hop world, but pop and rock and jazz and stuff like that, for sure. You get your time to shine.
And you feel like you've got kind of a decent understanding and mastery of all of those different genres. So you can get a call up, say, around Christmas, and say, "Hey, man, we need you in DC for a last minute gig," because that's what it sounds like happened for you, right? You just pop in.
Oh, it happens. It happens a lot, and I'm talking about, that's the one thing. If I'll say this to the audience, if you guys are like really ready to be out here on this level, as far as like the pop gigs and the top A-list gigs, I guess you would call it. It's a lot. It's a lot with it. It's a lot of retention comes with it. There's last minute calls, and it's also because it's a good thing too, because you got to think, if your networking is good, if your connections are great, if your friendships are great, you're going to have that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes maybe your homie might have a gig that he has to do, and it's like, oh snap, I forgot to lock this down. You know what? Let me call Boots, or let me call so-and-so. And it's like, you have to be mentally prepared to receive songs and just, be able to do an hour and a half show and learn it within a day or two,
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a good point. When I introduced you here on the show, of course, I didn't even introduce Caleb here. I got Caleb Rankin down, like showing off his spot here, and looks like his place in Thailand. But like you, right? So he's a drummer, he's a hip hop artist, and he's filled.
Music is crazy, bro. Music is crazy.
Yeah. You checked out Capital K stuff?
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
He sent me his stuff. I don't do that. I don't lie. I heard it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, well, I mean, he's filled, for me on some gigs in the past, and we've talked about that. I mean, you just mentioned relationships, right? And the networking and sort of the reputation that comes before your name. So on a gig like, the gig that you did last week, you had a last minute thing in DC. So how did that gig come about? Tell me a little bit about just the preparation for something like that.
Well, to be honest, it's crazy you asked that. It's a great question too. So they called Adam Blackstone. Shout out to Adam Blackstone. He called me and was like, bro, hey, I know you just got home. And it's funny, he put me on the Eminem gig. So again, shout out to Adam. But after coming home, he just hit me like, I got a couple dates from his Christmas tour, and he sent me music, and the music is jazz. So this is all, now I'm going from playing hip hop / rock to brushes, and some rides here and there and some sticks maybe, but a whole different genre, right? A whole different everything, vibe and all that. He sent the music, and within I think a day or two, something like that, 2 days, 3 days, something like that, because he didn't even know what artists were going to perform with him. So
really, okay,
yeah, because sometimes it's like, he may have a few people with him for a few shows, but then it's like, okay, they can't be at the next few shows, so now I have to find someone else to help, carry the show with him, which is a great thing because it's actually helping those artists as well. But the preparation side of it, man, it's more so like I said, is locking in. You know what I'm saying? Like you got called to do something because apparently you can do the job, right? So it's like, let me really show why I can do the job. Let me lock in. Let me go get away from my friends and all my habits and crap that I'm doing. Let me really lock in so I can go to this job and I can be prepared, and no one can say anything to me. So I think it's really always about the mentality, man. Like your mental has to be together. I don't care if you're stressed. And it's sad to say this, but I don't care if it's a funeral. I don't care if it's marriage. I don't care if it's your children, bills. You have to be able to put all that aside when you get a professional phone call, to step into that next level. And it can happen at any moment. Like seriously, any moment.
Well, like on this gig, so the Adam Blackstone gig, did you have any experience playing with the other cats on the gig, like the bass player, any of the like performers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Percussion player Aaron Draper, love him. He's from Philadelphia. That's my brother. Rob Geringer, guitar player. I played with him with I want to say it might have been Puff or somebody.
Okay.
I don't know. I hate to say it. Sorry to say that name at this time, guys. But
no, man, no.
But I'm all jokes, man. So
that's good. No,
I'm a kidder, bro.
There's no censorship on the show either, man. I mean, like the thing is, the only rule is that we have fun with this, right? So that's good.
There it is.
I mean, like
there it is.
There's enough drama in the rest of the world, right? So this is
right.
This is the escape, brother. Just like being on stage, man.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, Caleb and I talk about this a lot, that even though you talked about not bringing whatever kind of exterior stuff to the gig, like, you may have marital stuff going on or bills or taxes or whatever, but when you're on stage, man, you're doing the gig, it's work. And even if it's not, something that's you're like cerebral and you're having to think about this a lot, you don't let anything else get in there. That is your escape, man. You don't worry about any of the things going on. And
exactly,
I for me, it's a little bit selfish, right? Because I love the interaction you've got with band members, and if you can kind of vibe with it, depending on the size of the venue, you're interacting with the energy from the crowd, right?
Right,
and
right.
So you talked about a couple of these guys that you played with in the past. So there was a little bit of some synergy you had. At least you didn't walk in cold, right? You'd never met these guys. And so each other's vibe, and these guys know you, right? So there's an interaction there.
Yeah.
You did a couple of gigs with Adam?
Yeah, I did. Adam has gotten me about 95% of my gigs.
Really?
That's yeah, he's my brother because he's from Jersey. He's right over the bridge. And our first gig together was Jill Scott. I think I was around. I think I was like 17. Yeah, I think I was 17 or something like that, and he was maybe 21 or 2, something like that. And I think that was both of our first major gig, and from there, we just locked in, man. Like we became cool. He trusted me as far as being a drummer and being someone that can hold that position down. Because that's an important position. That's very, you can have sorry to say this, but you can have a whack bass player, guitar player, and keyboards because you can mesh them in there. But it's like, if the drummer is shabby, if he goes off beat, if his timing is terrible, or if it's like it's shifting and he can't follow a click, he can't count in certain things. It's like, if you can't do this, bro, you gotta go. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, you gotta go. But I'm sorry.
You had all this experience in producing and engineering as well. So are you MD on some of these gigs that you brought in as a music director for a lot of these projects?
Nope. And I don't want to be.
Yeah, right. Extra hat to wear.
Just let me play drums and let me get off and go home.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to talk to no management. I don't want to talk to nobody, no artists. I don't want to back and forth with version, the revision 12. And no, I don't want none of that. No, I don't want that.
Okay.
Unless the money is great, you can revise to 80. I don't care. But if it's not matching up, I don't have time for that. I have kids. I got a life.
Oh, do you? How old are your kids?
My son's 14, my daughter's 17, and they're like involved in life. My son's a ball player. He makes 125 at church every Sunday. Like,
nice.
My daughter, she's the basketball coach. I'm sorry, the basketball manager of her high school team. She has a job. So it's like, I'm just raising kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about trying to be an MD at this point at 40 years old.
Right.
Doing that. Like,
well, that's good. I mean, they've probably seen you wear a bunch of these hats too, right? So if they already know the hustle, sounds like they're not sitting around playing video games and waiting for life to come at them.
Oh yeah. I don't play that. I don't play that shit anyway. We're not doing that. You're not going to be just because I'm dad and I got the accolades of whatever, you don't have those accolades. So, get your lazy ass up and go get what you got to get done.
You mentioned your boy playing in the church gigs. Did you start out that way?
Of course. Majority of us have. Majority of the drummers you see nowadays from gospel chops and all that stuff. Yes. At much 99.9% of the drummers have started from church.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I always liked that. Was for me, it was a supplemental gig, right? So I was doing all sorts of other gigs on the weekends, but doing 2 sessions in church and on Sunday mornings was a nice way to make a little extra cash. And it really made you focus right? Because if you looked at other guys that you were playing with on the weekends and maybe they were partying and you knew, well, you know what, man, I got a 7 a.m. call, for this gig in church tomorrow, then my head's got to be clear, right? So it's kind of nice. You could focus and reputation is great. I mean, you talk about that. Like you show up, that's a whole different crew to let down if you show up not prepared,
Yes. Yep. I always tell my son, I'll be like, at the end of the day, man, I'm like, you can be my son and all that, but I'm like, at the end of the day, you still have to have your own name. So I'm showing you how to be better than me, how to be better than I was at your age or even a little older. Cause it's like, excuse me, the one thing my dad taught me was that, the one thing you have to live by as a man is your word. And I never understood that until I got older. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you tell someone something as a man, you should really stand by that. Because now, if you tell me something again and you didn't keep that last word, I'm not going to trust you most likely. Even if it's the second time. It's because the reality of men always preach the rah, rah, rah. So it's like, you know what? Right. If you're not really keeping your word, I can't trust you. So I always tell my son, I always tell him, bro, listen, be on time or actually be ahead of time. Once you get your music, start learning it. If you don't have the music in timely manner, text the person or email whoever you got to talk to, and you annoy them. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want your name out there in the negative sense of, oh, he wasn't prepared, or he can't retain well, or no. It's like you have to train yourself and show them why you called me.
Amen. Yeah, man. Do you have any gigs in the past that you had to learn from that mistake? Like you showed up and you weren't prepared, and you kind of fell on yourself a little bit.
Oh yeah. A lot of those.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. It even got
anything you got canned from?
Huh?
Anything you lost a job from?
No, definitely didn't lose a job from that.
All right.
No.
All right. So
I definitely recovered real quick.
Yeah.
But it was I had some gigs where it was definitely a thing where I just being real. Let's say the beginning of my career. I'm like, oh, this music scene, it sounds kind of simple. You know what I'm saying? I can just hear it down once or twice. I'll be good. I'll do rehearsal and I'll be straight. Not realizing, of course, there's clicks, there's slates, there's other things involved in the song while you're playing. So it's like you're just thinking you're about to play to this 2-track or whatever you just heard. And then there's times when I'm, further in my career, and it's like just being honest. Like I had the arrogance. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I've been doing this. This is easy. Some of the music, I learned that. I can learn this shit on the airplane. I ain't worried about this.
Yeah.
And then you get to the rehearsal or the sound check, whatever. It's like, this is a 2 count? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My bad. I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you look like the idiot because you thought that this is what it was. And they're like, no, bro, that's no. You know what I'm saying? So I've had my moments where it was in the beginning of my career and at the high level of my career where, yes, I had to be humbled. You know what I'm saying? I had to get humbled for sure.
Humility is good, man. I mean, I'm sure you're telling your both your kids that too. That the art, there's an art to working humility. That as you get the accolades, as you get more of the credibility gigs, it would be easy maybe to develop a little bit of a hubris, and a kind of an arrogance about some of that. But there's always somebody out there better, and more prepared. And I, Nate Morton. You hip to Nate?
No.
Nate, he's the voice, the drummer on The Voice, the TV, the TV show.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, he's a wicked drummer, man. But he's done so many sessions, and so Caleb got to meet him a handful of years ago down at the NAMM show, right? And we were in the studio. They're there at A&M Studios, where they're they produce the biggest records out of Hollywood, and we talked a little bit about Henson, that,
right?
Yeah. Well, Henson Studios now. It used to be A&M. It's the same place, but some of the biggest records like in history, were recorded back there. And
right.
And we talked a lot about that because every guy in that studio was at the top of their game. They're all like the baddest, LA session guys, right? And you like if one of those guys walked in with the arrogance, everybody's a great player, right? But if you had some, you were too cocky and you weren't able to get with the hang with some of these guys, they'll bring somebody else in, in a heartbeat. And that goes, I would say, with most working relationships, but in the music biz, because so much is based on reputation, you talked about, you getting 95% of your gigs from recommendations and, like having developed a relationship there.
Yeah.
You say you're 17 when you got the Jill Scott gig?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I mean, that was probably a big tour, right?
Oh, dumb. That was her,
Yeah.
what was that? Beautifully Human, I think. I think it's when that album came out.
Yeah. So you're hitting overseas for that one too, right?
We did everything. We did the Live in Paris, the Live in Paris DVD, recording all that, whatever. That's still huge. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, definitely, man. Like, it's so funny. I remember those times because every show, she would, at the end of the show, she would say, after announcing the band, ladies, and don't try to get my drummer. He's 17. And it was so crazy because like it would be a joke and it was funny, but it was like, yo, like I'm really out here. Like, by myself without my parents. like
yeah, man. I was gonna say, were there a lot of pinch me moments right there?
No, I was kind of prepared for this. Like, I started playing drums and leaving school at like 14, 15.
Really?
Playing for this artist, Richard Smallwood, this gospel artist. I was literally out of school maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Because he was doing something, and it was like my mom and dad were really okay with that. They knew my gift, they understood what I had, and they never limited me or they never like stopped me from, experiencing. Of course I had to do my homework and stuff, but
yeah,
were
you doing homework on the road?
Hell no.
Yeah. No. Were you a good student?
No, I mean, no. I'm sorry. I was a good student. I was very silly.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't I didn't fight kids or curse teachers out. No, I was just goofy, talk a lot.
Yeah.
Class clown, assemblies. I'm the loudest goofy guy. Like, that was me. So I would get in trouble for the goofiness than, anything else.
Are you still that guy on the road?
Always.
Yeah, man. That's good. You want that, right? Because there's enough stress on the road, man. If you got somebody who can cut up a little bit, that's good stuff.
I'm the young old man on the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you the oldest guy in some of these gigs now?
Not really, no, because it's still the same core.
Okay.
Of musicians that have played on this level that I know. It's somewhat the same core. So it's not. I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not the youngest. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
There was friends of mine that were on the Avril Lavigne gig. Avril was out touring. This is probably, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago.
Okay.
And management was cutting heads. They were looking for the young guys, right? So everybody was kind of afraid to make any waves at all because they were just getting to their 40s, and she was looking for guys in their 20s, so they were all trying to look real young and make sure that, they all kept their appearance and
right.
didn't make a scene. But at that point, I realized, wow, this is, because it's difficult for young women in the music industry, right? As soon as they start to age at all, then, I think it's tougher for guys because a lot of like dudes can get into whatever genre of music and still have an opportunity to make a pretty big wave in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
But for women, man, when they start getting up there, it's a lot more challenging. People are less accepting,
Yeah.
But, and for Avril, she started off as a teen pop, sensation, and she still kind of has that market and the demographic. So she was wanting to maintain that with her band too. But and you've worked with younger artists. I mean, you've had, some guys that were, younger in their career and attracting a younger audience, right? So you probably had to deal with all levels of maturity out there.
Of course.
Yeah. And you brought him up, man. So I got to ask, you were talking Diddy, right? So you were talking about Puff. How old were you when you started doing the Puff and the Diddy gigs?
I mean, I was probably like early mid-30s. Yeah. Like
okay. All right. Yeah. So this is like 5-6 years ago.
No, maybe more. It's like, so maybe late 20. So I say like between 28 and 33 or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. So you weren't a kid. You've been around for a while, so you've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, man.
I didn't see nothing. Nope.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I never went to the parties. And it's funny you say that because he did invite us. He did invite the band over a couple times, like just would invite us to the house, whatever. And I was always like, me personally, like I don't give a shit. I'm not going to nobody's crib. Like I don't care about celebrities and all that. I'm not I'm not going over there because one, I don't have this, so I don't I don't want to see all the shit that you got and you're over here gloating.
Right.
And I go back to the crib and it's like,
right.
I need some pillars in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that dude. So I'm not worried about going to their home or their parties or nothing because I already know what LA and Hollywood is about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we're not on some really connecting to help my family, because your family is great. If we're not working on some, how can we help each other family or how can you help me? I don't got to go over there and just drink. I can go drink by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I never trusted those things, to be real with you. I never trusted the parties in the hills and all that type stuff. Like, I'm not the elbow rubbing dude. I'm too much. I'm a Philly dude. I'm too much from the crib to act like, oh, you know what? Okay, I'll do this or I'll be this. No, no. Because the world, I'm the guy that's going, I'm like Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying? If I experience something or if somebody trying to play some games with me, the world's going to know. Yeah. The world has to know because I'm not a fake guy. So I never went to no parties. I never will go to a party. And I hope other people don't go to these parties because it's real. It's real.
Well, I mean, some people didn't have a lot of a choice. I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of Justin Bieber growing up and stuff like that. You know, his drummer Styx Taylor. I'm not sure if you've met him. Pretty cool dude. Killer player as well. Shout out to him. But young people like that getting roped in because of Usher or different people in the industry and stuff like that. It's not really. I mean, if they're a kid,
different.
I don't know if they can say no to the party because they don't have anything yet and they're trying to get
everything.
And
their parents
they want access to everything.
There. Right. Yeah. And you would hope that
they don't really know what
out.
Yeah. It might just be too late.
Caleb, I mean, you had some experience down in LA. I know that you went to like a sit down, and Caleb was in a rap trio, and they had a negotiation that I
sat down with Aftermath actually.
Yeah. And I was proud of you for walking away, realizing that maybe that wasn't the right fit.
It wasn't. It's something that everyone wants, especially like I should speak on. The fact that like pushing myself into the hip hop sphere with some other really close friends of mine at the time. Me being the way that I am, I was a little like suspicious about everything, even though like everything did sound great and I didn't have anything at the time, and I wanted to like get in a position where I could have not really the fame or anything but access to things. Because it just sounded like really great to be able to perform on stage and stuff like that and have a fan base and grow that and share my music out. But unfortunately, the deal would have been too much to give up.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, recognizing at that age, that compromising your morals and your values, that's a tough thing for young people, so Boots, I mean, you got, your two kids, you got your boy that's playing these gospel gigs in church right now. Is his aspiration to go out and do this for a living?
Between that and basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are his main, those are his main two dreams and goals, period.
Yeah. And I would imagine he's at the age now, man, where you can have these conversations and just say, look, things might look real flashy. They might look real opportunistic and you've got a choice, right? Where you want to maybe compromise things. That when you were younger, did you have a role model like that for yourself to be able to kind of keep you in check?
My dad.
Yeah.
Yep. My dad
in business? Was he in the music business?
No, he was just a drummer in church.
Yeah.
But his morals weren't he didn't play around when it came to his morals. You know, like every morning we're saying the scripture, Isaiah 54:17, period. It don't matter where we go, we're gonna say it, going to school, going to the trash out, we're saying it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and it's funny because those little things people don't understand, those little nuances are what is what's missing today in a lot of kids, to be real. And you got to blame it's the parents, just to be real. Because what's happening is people are, and let's be real, we grow up and it's like, remember that mentality when you were a kid and you was like, I can't wait to get out of my mom's house. I can't wait to get out of my dad's house. I can't wait to leave here and get my own and be an adult and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but at the same time, you still took some of their morals. You know what I'm saying? Like you took some of the way they raised you because if you didn't know how to wash your ass or if you didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying, do certain things, it's because of them. You know, like so it's like I'm teaching my kids to understand the reality of like knowing, yeah, we're this way now, blah blah blah. You're this age now, but reality is, if you want to get into business, there's going to be there might be something that comes with that. You just may run into somebody that this sounds too good to be true. Yeah. You know, and
most likely, right?
You may run into the swindler person where it's like the puffies where they're taking you out to eat, they buying you clothes, taking you on trips. Next thing you know, it's like, what is going on right now? You know what I mean? Yeah. And because what happens is right? Real talk, right? Yeah. But it's like, you think about it, bro. A lot of times people don't want to speak about this because a lot of people think that when you say things spiritually, your endorsements, your connections, your networks, your blah blah blah, it goes down. I don't give. Yeah. Are we allowed to curse a little bit on here or no?
Of course, man. Yeah, this is all real, bud. Yeah.
I don't. Me personally, I don't give a shit about none of that stuff, right? And that's what I mean by the morals that my father has taught me, right? Yeah. Like. He always taught me to be you. If you believe in God, you believe in Jesus, you believe in whatever it is, you believe in that and stick to it because there's going to be people who are going to try to make you not believe in that because they strongly believe against, in something else. Yeah. So once you leave that belief, it's like, it's easy for the devil or it's easy for spirits or it's easy for that negative energy to come in and be like, he wants to be famous, huh? Okay, I got something for his ass. And it's like, now you're stuck. You know what I'm saying? Because you that's what to sell your soul is. And I never want my children to go through that because I went through a few meetings, whether it was production or whether it was just me playing drums. Like real talk. And it's like people want control. They want to control you when they know you have a gift or they know you're an amazing musician or you have that energy and persuasion. So it's like, if you don't know, that's your ass. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's like, if you know your worth and know who you are and in your beliefs, the other part of that is, if you do know, you got to be ready for the backlash of everybody talking shit about you now.
Kanye. Yeah. Kanye, bro.
Right.
Oh, right.
That's the flip. And it's like, so I can see Caleb, I know you on the same energy and wavelength as me as far as the industry and knowing that it's bullshit. Yeah. It's bullshit. So
yeah, the industry plant shit.
Say it again.
The industry plant stuff with like Ice Spice and Sexy Red and
because come on, let's be real. When was this music out when we were growing up and when we got even to this age? This shit is very dumb.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Right? Like it's dumb. It's really dumb. It reminds me of Caleb. You remember that song? It's so cold in the D. Did you ever hear that song?
Yeah, of course.
You gotta show positives. Listen, this shit is terrible. Like, but this is what Sexy Red and these other girls sound like.
Yeah, it's forced. It's just monetizable. That's all.
Right. So, bottom line is, man, I always make sure my children understand, or anyone I'm talking to, especially younger than me, like there's levels. There's levels and there's sides. So if you want to go here, you're gonna have to take this. Yeah. If you want to go here, this shit's coming too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's life, bro. Shit's real.
Well, let me ask you. You have a 17-year-old daughter, right? How tough is it being a father, especially at that age, knowing that there's a song I was just listening to today. It's a collaboration album. When Kanye moved out to like Wyoming and was like completely like shut down, like stopped taking the meds and he started going crazy. Anyway, well, people say he was going crazy, but he was just thinking.
Right.
What he was really doing was like digging real deep. And there's a song, I believe it's the last song on the album called Violent Crimes. And he talks about in the song that the guys right now are pimps and players and they want to, they're going to take advantage of women. And it's really hard to raise a daughter when they want to go out and trust, the bad guys out there right now that are, taking advantage of them. And they're like going to the clubs but they don't want to listen to the dad. So if the dad is like too hard on them, then they're going to go to the men, and then then they have to learn that, a hard lesson and stuff like that. It seems really, really hard to be a dad nowadays, especially with social media, everything going on right now. Doesn't matter what culture you're in, but in America, it's, I would say, the hardest, probably the most difficult.
Because America's terrible when it comes to morals.
And self-worth.
It's like this, I mean, look at the other countries where they're shutting down TikTok, where they shut stuff down at a certain time of the day. It's like, I'm with that. Like, I don't have a problem with
what do you think about the culture though? Like because on one side you have they want the guys' attention, so you have the hoe shit, and then on the other side you have the guys that are willing to pay for all that. And be like pimps and it makes a really tough society to live. How do you deal with that as a dad?
Yeah, man.
Well, for me, I'm a southern dad. So me and my family, we're all from the South. Born and raised in Georgetown, South Carolina. So we don't play that shit. Like, I don't care about no rule that they made that you can be gay or that you can be straight or that you can't say anything, this and that, or social media is persuading people this way and all that. I don't give a shit about none of that. My thing is, you're my child. So if I'm giving you the morals and the rules that'll make you better in life, dope coffee mug. If I'm giving you the rules and morals of life and you're saying, F you, I'm gonna go over here and live this life. Okay, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be mad internally.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're gonna find out.
Yep.
Right? Like I'm not the one that's like forcing, I'm not the old school person where it's like, oh, you don't want to listen, you gonna get your ass in that room and sit. No, it's like, no, you know what? Go ahead and learn.
Fair enough. You don't participate in like the beatings and all that.
Right. Like being my daughter, that's the difference between my daughter and my son. Like, of course, for my daughter, it's a different sensualness. You know what I'm saying? It's a way different sensualness because she's a woman. She's soft. So I have to be different with her than when I am with my son.
More emotional, sure.
Yeah, it's more so emotions and verbal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And with my son, me and him never get physical because he knows I knock the shit out of you. So it's like, at the end of the day, there's no point of you trying to try me because we're cool enough to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're homies. So it's like, bro, if you got a problem, let's rap. Like, we don't try to sneak or lie or whatever. Let's be real about whatever. Because once you do that, like I said earlier, now you lost my trust as a young man.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're not keeping your word.
So he knows about like the dangers of Philly and like the streets and stuff like that. You try to keep him away from that. I mean, if he's grown up in the church, he's probably not involved. But the problem is, you're talking about the devil and you're talking about that stuff. It is gonna like that type of culture is gonna try to get at him, depending on what circle he's in. There might be guys hanging around him that are, it can sneak in there if you're not careful, if you're not paying attention enough, like long enough, right? Then it leaves room to be like, hey, it's time to start moving stuff on the streets, because there's not enough like money coming in, or they want power, or they want to feel cool, or they want to fit in with like, certain groups of people that might not really want them around. Man, that's gotta be tough as a dad too. It scares me.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, Caleb, you're at that age, right, where you're thinking about kids and how to raise your children with self-worth and independence. And, Boots, I grew up, it's funny, man. I grew up in Montana, out in the woods, right? I grew up in a cabin playing drums. And all I wanted to do was get away from the woods, get to LA and be in Hollywood, become a rock star. It was everything for me. And my best friends all split the day we graduated high school. They went to Hollywood. Life kicked their ass, man. I mean, a lot of bad stuff happened as soon as they got there. I stuck around. I went to college, and I was feeling at that point like I sacrificed everything I was interested in, and I was a sellout. I'm the only guy still playing music anymore. Of all those guys, like, I'm the only dude that's out doing it now. And I was grateful, man. I had my parents, help me build a foundation there, and it was important to do that. And it sounds to me like you've got a good handle. Your kids already have the value and the self-worth there. Yeah. They're involved in a lot of stuff that's productive and constructive, right? So
my daughter was out with me on tour for weeks.
Oh, she was? Yeah.
When she was a kid, like between like 3 or something like that, she was out on tour with me with Common for like a month. My son came out with me for like a month. Like I always do that. Yeah, I don't play that shit. Like, yeah, you're gonna get on this plane. You're gonna come to this hotel. You're gonna go to sound check. You're gonna hear this pyro. You're gonna see all this shit that I see because it's like, one, I want to open you up to something different, right? So it may want them to be like, holy shit, I want to learn how to do lights, or I want to learn how to do the pyro, or I want to learn how to be a stage manager. Like, you seeing all this happen, so it's like, yeah, why not come and enjoy enjoy your father's gift and job?
Yeah. Shout out to Common.
That and really to have the support for you, because some guys would not want their musicians to have their family around, right? Yeah, that's a challenge, man. It adds,
for sure, right.
It's a liability.
Right. Conversely, I mean, they could get out there and they could see all the other BS that goes on the road, right? I mean, there's so much drama, there's so much stuff that can go wrong, and for me, I mean, I mean, he's seen a little bit. He's been out on the road with me a little bit. He's seen, and it's funny because he sees all the glory of all that stuff, but doesn't see, some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's kicking your ass, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, I've just noticed that sometimes it's rare, thankfully. I don't know how common it is in different bands, but sometimes gigs can literally fall apart 2 minutes before you go on stage. And it's not because of anything else, but just drama with people.
Yeah,
that's literally it's ego trips. It's all sorts of stuff, man. It's ridiculous though. It's
the main thing is the ego. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
It is.
Well, all right. So I'm going to shift gears for a second because you were talking about recommendations and relationships. I got to give a shout out to Ryan Gore, man. Ryan was drum teching for you, and I love that guy, man. We worked together in LA about a year and a half ago. That was the first time I worked with him. And I think he just worked with Abe L'Oreal Jr., right? So I'm like, okay, dude's played with like every cat under the sun. And he was teching for us on this gig, and he had such an easy demeanor. He made everything better on that gig.
Yeah.
And to have somebody around like that has that personality, you just want that in your life, right? And so he gave me a shout out just when you guys were heading, I think, to the Middle East. Were you doing a gig in Dubai? Is that right?
Yeah.
Dubai. He's like, hey, man. Yeah, you got to meet Boots, man. He said, we get this gig. So tell me, first of all, was that the first time you worked with Ryan, or did you work with him in the past?
This is the first year I worked with Ryan.
Okay.
We did.
Was Eminem?
No, we did Snoop and Dre.
Oh, okay.
It was Snoop and Dre gig, and then after that, I filled in for Eminem on percussion.
Okay.
And then I did the gig just now with him on drums. But he was my tech for the Snoop and Dre gig and me being a percussion player for the gig.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan's one of a kind, bro. Yeah, he's
man.
Definitely one of a kind. Seriously.
I mean, for me, he just took all of the concerns and the worry out of the gig. I mean, the drums sounded killer. He brought all the backline and tech, but he made sure that he went the extra mile, on me. And I would imagine the complexity of a gig like Eminem or Snoop and Dre is a lot bigger than the stuff that he had with us with the Flag of Seagulls. So first of all, how'd you get the Eminem, the call on the Eminem gig?
Adam.
Yeah. All right. All right. Man, he's the conduit for everything. It sounds like that's good. And
bro, I'm trying to tell you, he's the guy. That's what you see everywhere in the front on all of the award shows. The little medium-sized chubby dude playing the bass right there in the front.
Nice.
Every show.
Drumming for Eminem, though, that's crazy.
Tell me about that gig, man. Like, how do you?
I want to know the set list too.
First.
I want to know the set list. No, I mean it was fun, bro. I mean, to be real with you, his energy is what makes it dope. He just comes out and he performs. He comes to rehearsal, gives you he runs the set one time, maybe twice, maybe. Okay. But he comes in, does his job, and he's gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But playing for him, it's easy. I'm not going to front. It's easy in the sense of, like I said, it's hip hop, right? So you just play the records. You know what I'm saying? Like the drums are already smacking. So it's like, why would I want to do some dumb church chop, jazz chop, fusion chop over this hard ass Like, why would I want to do?
Yeah,
I don't gotta do all of that.
There's room for some crazy soloing in like Godzilla and stuff like that. There's room.
Yeah,
there's room to chop out, and that would be crazy, man.
But it's like, but that's if you get that room though, because he's his vocals, he spits. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he gives you room to actually. You either gotta accent him, like you gotta catch him, right?
Yeah.
Catch the lyrics, or you gotta just let his ass go, because it's like, somebody's gonna get fumbled. It's gonna get like jumbly. In the music and the lyrics,
you don't want to step on him, right?
There's probably not a ton of room, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. And he has him. All of the songs. I'm now thinking about it. All of the songs, it's either 2-track or the vocals. They are in there. Then you have his hype man. So let's look. 1.
Yeah, true. There's no room.
2 ad-libs /3, and his hype man. That's 5 damn people. Loud as hell.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, no, I don't want it. I'm cool. I don't need to do all of that. I'll play this gig and go home.
When this song is over, do you leave room? Because I know like Devin will do this a lot too, is like the band itself will, after the vocals are done for the song, they'll kind of play out like 16 or 32 bars where the guitar solo will come in and they'll kind of just end out the song, right? Because they want to make it a little bit longer, and then the drummer can solo out, and then
that's your time. Yeah, when he's gone, he's off stage or whatever, taking a break. Go and shine. Do what you gotta do.
I love that you guys do that. That's really cool.
I mean, is that spoken? I mean, does he say, "Hey, man, do your thing. You got 32 bars." Like while I go,
no.
You know,
you just do it. It's just a given. When there's no vocals around. This is my turn.
Long transition. He's grabbing a drink of water into the next song.
That's all
enough
you.
for him to chop out.
Right. You have to keep it. You're actually the one that has to keep the energy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know? No dead air. Well,
right.
I mean, you were just singing that part. That was "Lose Yourself," right? Like, was that? Yeah. So that one, to me, I would imagine that's where the goosebumps come in, because the place probably just goes ape shit when that song comes on. Right?
Of course.
Yeah. Like
always.
In a place like these gigs over in the Middle East, I mean, those songs are international. They translate worldwide. But is there a place that stood out to you? I mean, how many gigs first of all did you do with Eminem?
2. Oh, you know what?
That's it.
Let me get my water real quick, guys. 1 second.
Yeah.
My water.
No,
water.
Yeah, no, like while Boots was taking off, like Caleb, I love that you're asking these questions about the technical parts of this stuff. You know, I mean, it's funny because you asked about the set list. I never think about this, right? When you're talking to somebody else that maybe, if the viewers are watching and they don't know much about the technical part of the industry, but they definitely resonate with set lists, right? So on an Eminem gig, you're of course doing the hits. I mean, Marshall's had enough records out there that you've got a pretty wide set list to draw from. Are these how long are these gigs? About an hour long? 75?
Hour and 30.
Okay,
maybe?
All right. So you got a 90-minute gig, and how much time do you have to prep on an Eminem gig?
As far as what, like listening to the music or what?
Yeah,
sure. I mean, you were playing percussion before, and then you get called, and you're like, hey, you know what? Why don't you just play drum set on this gig, right? So between the time that you get that notification till gig time, how much time do you have to prep?
Depends.
On his
gig. It depends on his
gig.
When rehearsal starts, because when I get the music, I go straight to the studio.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a shit what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't care if I'm with my kids. I love y'all, but y'all asses got to get out of here. I got to go work. Yeah.
And are you actually playing to the records? Or are you actually getting like the click and all this, the stems and everything else that go along with it?
Yeah. You get, for the most part, you're getting not the stems. You get the click and the the track. You hear that for sure. You get the slates and the click and the track.
All right. And obviously you're quite adept in the studio. So are you, you're doing Pro Tools? Is that primarily what you're using?
I use Ableton.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. And so you probably have an Ableton. You doing live setup when you're playing these shows? Are you actually running laptop and running Ableton? No?
Nope. Just straight raw acoustic drums.
Okay. They're feeding everything to you.
Yep.
And all right.
Very
simple. What kind of ears do you run?
Oh, I use regular generics, bro. The regular
Yeah.
regular Shure generics, because I had so many in-ears. I've had so many freaking JH in-ears and all this, and JH audio and all these people. I was like, you know what? I keep spending these these $1,000 on these freaking headphones, and I'm like, no, I don't need this no more. Like, no, seriously. Like, I'm spending money on it, and then it's like, if I'm endorsed, what's the real discount here?
Right.
Like, if I'm still spending $1,000 on headphones, like, this is ridiculous. But what happens is, you know the game. You know, that's who they are. Whoever uses them now, the price goes up, whatever. But excuse me, for me, where they at? I got them right here. Matter of fact, these bad boys right here.
Yep.
The Shure 215s. Simple.
Yeah, the 215s, man. Yeah, simple, dual drivers, man. Yep.
Yeah, and I have my bumper,
singles, and
I got a sub. I'm straight. I don't need to kill my ears.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. And nothing molded. Well, other endorsements, you know, so that's one conversation I've had with guys that actually work in the product industry. A lot of drummers up and coming, you know, think that the endorsements are all about just handouts. You're getting stuff for free and you're out there and you don't have a partnership with the company. But it's a really important thing to sort of, you know, discuss is that you've got basically you got a business agreement with these guys that your job is to go out there and sell, right? So they either eyeballs or ears. And so you've been a Mapex guy for a while, right? Yeah, man. And is it right that I saw you have an identity kit? Is that right? Is that your primary?
Yep, my identity. Yes, sir.
I got one right behind the monitor here. I got an identity kit, a custom kit. That, but yeah, man.
The one of one is great. It is a crazy kit, man. Crazy, kit.
Crazy kit,
baby.
Man.
The clamps, the bass drum hoop clamps are spider web.
Yeah,
like they're sick. They're really sick.
It was buddy mine Glenn is the drummer for Alice Cooper. So this was his when he finished out his contract with Mapex. That was their last touring kit, and I got his kit after he split. But yeah, it's red hardware, spider webs. Yeah, it's great. But your deal with Mapex, man. So you played a bunch of other companies in the past, man. How long you been playing Mapex?
Man, I don't even know. I really don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I don't know.
Well,
I know it's been definitely over 10, 15 years, something like that. Yeah.
Did they approach you?
My homie Dal Robinson put me with them.
Okay.
He's another drummer as well. He's a great drummer. He put me with them years ago when we did NERD, when we were doing Pharrell Williams.
Oh, nice. Killer, man.
Yeah, so that was like it was like crazy. Because we came on at the same time.
Huh? You said you're into fashion, right? You like Pharrell?
Yeah.
Big inspiration. Huge.
Yeah, for sure. He's an inspiration to a lot of my music in general.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know what? I went over a couple of your songs today, and they gave me a really big, a really close resemblance to like 2011 Big Sean Detroit type style sound, and it's really nice.
Was that like the hip hop stuff?
Yeah, and you did some collabs. You had was it Alex?
Okay, yeah. If you go back and hear my Timeless album and my Rooter to the Tutor album, those two albums, those are like the Pharrell / rock inspired, because I grew up actually listening to rock music.
You did?
Okay. Yeah, like I'm like dead serious, like Rage Against the Machine, Incubus, Primus, like that's what I grew up on, and then hip hop was just in me, it's just embedded in me. But as far as like the rocks, that was my shit. Like I always wanted to be a rock drummer. I always wanted to play, but then I was like, I don't think people understand my little black ass loving rock music this much. So it's like I left it alone or whatever. But when you hear those albums, you'll trust me, bro. You'll be like, oh shit. Like I wouldn't, if you didn't see my face or know who I was, you would never think it's me singing or doing these songs.
I'll check it out for sure.
That's like my real, that's my heart.
So do you like to rap?
Yeah, I love rapping. But to me with rapping though, rapping don't give you real energy as far as like performance, and because you can only do but so much, right? Like when your arms go from side to side, maybe a little dance here and there, but it's like when you're singing or you're doing performances, you have a whole, staged plot. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm over here for a certain reason. I'm over there for a certain reason. Like I'm interacting with this for a certain reason. I have punchlines. I got certain cue words. Like it's a different thing, right? Where you're making an actual show, like I said, then it's just you and your DJ, or like you know, a band that's just playing the music. Like, yo, bro, go ahead, go run that shit, bro, run that shit. It's like, what?
Yeah, no, fair. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna ask, what stick do you use?
What stick do I use?
Yeah.
I use, one second, I'm trying to get this charger together. I use
ProMark guy, right?
I use ProMark right now. I was with Vic Firth for a while. And it was just only Vic Firth and ProMark. Those are the only two that I was mainly with.
Okay.
Yeah. What model of the ProMarks are you using?
The 5A active grips.
Okay. The active grips. All right. So, yeah. The I mean, do you
sweat?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. You a sweaty drummer? Dude, it's bad.
It's not. It's not what it is. To be real with you, it's always the first two songs with me. Always the first
and then
two.
It's gone.
And it's not even nervousness. It's more so the nervousness of, I hope I don't drop a fucking stick right now. Like, like I don't mind dropping it like song 12 or something like that. But like the first two is like, come on, bro. Why you even out here touring? Get your ass out of here.
Well, you know, man, you were talking about that size, you know, because Caleb and I, you know, we got into Chris Coleman for, you know, quite a while ago. And I remember seeing Chris the first, oh my God, man.
Yeah,
but dude plays like monster sticks. They're huge, right? And
Chris is different.
And his dynamics, it's nuts, man, that he can actually play at all levels with these massive clubs and just be slaying, and then get down to, you know, pianissimo, man. But
I don't know how he doesn't break cymbals every session.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. But he's got finesse, right? So
that's what it is. It's the finesse.
Yeah. Do you have guys right now that you look at and you're like, all right, man, these drummers are major inspirations for me?
To be honest, no. No offense to anybody.
No, no, but
if we're talking about, say it again.
Well, I mean, if you talked about being a rock guy early on, so were there rock drummers that you resonated with early on,
or bands?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm not really believe it or not, fellas. I'm not really that guy that's like, I listen to a lot of drummers and stuff like that. I don't know. It's
more music.
Yeah, I just like music. If I find you, or if I heard about you, or ran across, it's like dope. But I be in my own world, bro. Like I really be in my, and it's no offense or no arrogance. It's just I just be in my own world. Like literally.
Well, I know that I had heard you say some stuff about that with fashion too. You know, that it's rather than just drawing influences from particular people or particular brands, it's just it's you know, sort of having your own, you know, sort of, you know, reference you identify with. As far as drums go, I mean, you talked about the rock stuff. You talked about Incubus and Rage Against the Machine. All those are vibe music, right? I mean, that's all about energy, you know? So I'd imagine that it's more the energy that drew you rather than just like the drummer or lyrics. Are you much of a lyrics guy?
I can be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. So who writes that you really, you know, that you say, oh man, I love, you know, like the lyrical content from this guy?
I would say personally, one of my favorite writers is definitely Pharrell, because he really writes it as a vision, right? So like the way he talks about seeing colors and stuff like that, like I can understand that. I totally get what he's saying. So when his lyrics, it's not like it's like deep or anything, but it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like soon as he says his lyrics, you understand exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right. So like you don't have to go back and hear it again type thing. It's like, no, it's not that simple, but it'll make you think for a split second, but you can capture it enough to where when the next line comes, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not that I'm like it's such a deep song or whatever. It's like, no, he writes to where when you're listening, you can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it. And it's like it don't take a long time to get to the resolution of the song. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my favorite writers. To be real with you, I mean, a lot of the writers aren't artists.
Right. Yeah, they're behind the scenes.
So it's like
some
of the names would just be names that people probably wouldn't even realize or recognize, like just being real. But it's like a lot of writers I like are people that people don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're real writers.
They supplied that to the artists that were hearing on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, how about, because you've got collabs on your own personal records. Is there anybody that you wanted to collab with so far that's like on your bucket list?
Anderson .Paak. I would love to collab with him.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Henry.
What was that? What was that one? I'm sorry.
What?
Caleb said Super Bowl over Anderson .Paak. What were you saying for your second option?
Oh, no, I said Corey Henry.
Oh, Corey Henry. Okay.
Excuse me. I don't know, cause it's weird with me, man. Like I might like some artists and some people, but it's like I wouldn't want to probably perform or do a song with them. Like,
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a wide mix of people you played with. You talked about Snoop and Dre. So Snoop's
I would
on
definitely do one with Snoop.
Yeah, man. Like,
yeah.
I was talking about Nate Morton earlier. So Snoop's on The Voice, and as one of the hosts, I've never even watched the show. Caleb and I have been to tapings in there just because Nate brought us in and we watched that part. But I was asking him, like, everything you see. I mean, Snoop is everywhere now, and I never would have thought he'd be such a household name, right? I mean, going from the streets, from where he was at to be doing kids shows and whatever. Man, he's like Disneyland all of a sudden. But I said, he's sound bites all the time, right? Like everything he says. And I said, is he like that in real life? He said, nonstop, man. He said, it's almost as if he scripted out everything he's going to say for his entire life.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that's because he's an older dude at this time. So it's like, but you got to think somebody like that is going to be slick with the tongue. You know what I'm saying? Like he's quick with his words because he's a rapper, one. And that's his actual swag. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not fake. That's who he really is every day.
Right.
Always has a punchline, always has something to say, like always got a little, sarcasm, joke here and there. Like that's who he is.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Cat Williams. I imagine Cat being the same way, right? Like Cat off stage is probably the same guy as he is on stage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yes. How about Eminem, man? Same dude on and off?
Yeah. I mean, what's funny?
Yeah.
If you look at him, he be chilling. Like he's not a hype dude. He don't get into no bullshit. You just hear about him, then you don't hear about him. Like that's how he is in life. He comes in rehearsal. Next thing you know, you turn around, this motherfucker's gone. And he's like, that's
right.
Him.
He's not hanging, looking for shit to do in the studio.
No.
Yeah. I know, like right now, NFL is big right now, and he's a big sort of figurehead for Detroit Lions, man. Are you an NFL guy?
Oh, hell yeah. Eagles.
Philly, probably, right? I was going to say, how are you not an Eagles fan?
Yeah, sorry. No,
crazy.
Yeah, well, you got to be.
Or I guess Panthers, right? Because you're from Carolina, right?
Huh?
Well, you grew up in Philly, or like Caleb was talking about Panthers?
I grew up in Philly. I was born in South Carolina and grew up in Philly.
Okay, but you're not a Panthers fan.
No.
Nobody's a Panthers fan, man. It's all good.
Cam Newton was pretty solid, but hey,
No, he was. You're absolutely right. Yeah, he definitely was. He was.
All right, so
I'm a big Vic fan. I mean, not off the field, but on the field, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he was killing.
Crazy,
but literally, no. Anyway, but the so you're so we put Boots in as coach right now. The Eagles, right? Saquon's got 100 yards to go to beat this record. To beat Eric Dickinson's record. Do you put him in, or you want to rest him?
I'm putting him in. Well,
all right.
No. I'm asking him what does he want to do. Honestly,
Sure. Oh, he wants the record.
Yeah, of course he wants the record. Yeah, he wants that.
Yeah. What happens if he gets hurt?
He's going to get it.
At the expense of maybe getting hurt and costing the Eagles, a chance for Super Bowl.
I mean, listen, you got 4 quarters. You could do it strategically in 4 quarters. You only need what? 25? 25.
25 quarter, right? Yeah.
He's straight.
All right.
He'll be good.
Yeah. Right.
We gotta go. I gotta go out to Philly so we can see a Niners Eagles game in person together.
Oh yeah, we got the NFC rivalry right there.
Let's go, bro.
Next year, I'll be out there.
It's fun as hell out here, yo. It's fun out here.
I'll come out there. It'll be my first time in Philly. Never been.
Bro, you gotta come on.
I was gonna move out there to
okay.
In April. I was thinking about doing it. Band fell apart. Band broke up, but
Oh God.
Yeah, no, that may have been a better choice for you though. Caleb moved to Thailand about 9 months ago, so he's got it good right now.
Look at
But
that background.
yeah. Well, this
is a green screen. I'm in the States right now, but I'm headed back to Thailand soon.
Yeah,
so
he came home for the holidays. He came home to see me for the holidays. But yeah, man, you spent some time over there
in Thailand. No, I've never been there yet.
Yeah. Oh man,
come out, bro. Crazy. You're invited, bro. Anytime.
I'm down.
Plenty of room.
How far is the trip from LA, or from? Wait, where you from originally?
Portland,
Oregon. Yeah.
How far is it from there?
15 hours?
Yeah, it's 18 hours or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. They're all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you were just over there. You were in Dubai. It's like once you're on a plane, you
that's true. From the East Coast, you could fly. You can fly east, not west. So
yeah.
It'd be
you know what, man? If we're talking NFC boots, I mean, I've had second row seats for the Seahawks for the last 23 years, man. So you want to come out and see Eagles, Seahawks, man, right on the grass? Yeah.
Right on the grass. Visit the tunnel, bro. Yeah, man.
You got season tickets?
Yeah.
You said the second row?
Second row. So check this out.
I could reach out and touch Jalen Hurts' shoulder pad if I wanted to from his seat.
This is the crazy thing, man. As a dad, you'll appreciate this, right? I got my season tickets. So Caleb's 25, his brother's 23. I got my season tickets just about a month before his little brother was born. So I've had him 23 years, right? I raised these kids I was a lifelong Seahawks fan. Somehow, dude you're looking at here on the screen became an obsessed 49ers fan, tatted up 49ers fan, right?
Oh, yeah, you real with it. Yeah, you real with it.
And then my other kid's a Dolphins fan. Like, how does this even happen, man?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Dolphins.
But you know what? As you know, you got to support your kid. I mean, like, I love that he makes his own choices, even if it makes, silly.
Oh, man. Imagine if your kid was a Cowboys fan. Oh, my God.
You would disown him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's out of here.
That would be crazy. No more cheesesteaks.
No more. I don't know you. No.
Yeah.
Damn.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately, yeah, man, that's about the worst thing you could possibly do.
It's time for the fans to jump ship now. It's time to go to somewhere else because it's just dumb. It's getting dumber and dumber every year.
Jerry Jones is the death knell of that team, man.
That's why.
I know, man. Like, he's pathetic, but
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, old Dak Prescott. Like that's all right. You got to be loving your Eagles right now, man.
I'm happy. I am happy.
Yeah.
Even our third string quarterback was getting touchdowns. I said, I'm happy. I'm cool.
Yeah. You got to be living it, man. You hit games very often during the season?
No, I don't really go to Eagles games. I more so go to Sixers games.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a hookup. I need to find somebody that has the Sixers passes. I'm tired of. I don't want no ticket. I played in that damn arena over 10 times. Someone owes me a lifetime membership to that shit.
That's right.
Me and Allen Iverson, we both deserve one.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, but you need some box seats.
That's what I'm saying, yo. I gotta find somebody. I'm like, this is not right. I'm not.
You and AI
paying for this shit. No.
Yeah.
Courtside's
nice, but the box is.
Talk to Mr. Blackstone. Nice. He's probably got a connection there, man.
Look, let me know. Let me know. Yeah. I'll hook him up too. I'm down.
That's it, man.
I gotta get my way out to Philly, but what was it like growing up there, man?
Growing up here was I played basketball a lot, football. Excuse me. It's very church oriented. A good music scene, really good music scene, music and food, and art. It's growing up. It was easy for me, to be honest. Like, I wasn't like rich or nothing, but it was really good as far as I didn't experience any crazy hood shit. I didn't go through nothing crazy. I got locked up a few times, but that was my dumbness, like stealing drum shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stealing cymbals and sticks and dumb shit like that. But
But you're in a nice area, a decent area.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Decent area.
Like, I was never in the hood or nothing crazy. Never had crazy persuasions. So I don't have those real stories now. Don't get me wrong. I've been around it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Everyone knows people.
I ain't gonna lie. That was like, my cousin was one. Like, my cousin was somebody that whipped your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely seen things and been around it, but I was never involved. But Philly in general is a great place if you ask me, especially outside of Philadelphia, like in the suburbs area.
Yeah. Not downtown, the bar
I don't know,
fights, the
man. You know what?
aggression.
We played a
Philly gets
club,
crazy,
like a
man.
smaller venue there, the Electric Factory
Mhm.
in Philly that I loved, man. I mean, the people were killer, dude. I
Yeah,
loved that city. I
yeah,
did. It
yeah.
was like they were just you know, Caleb, you're talking about like those fights, but a lot of stuff you're seeing like NFL, right? Like no team wants to go into Philly.
I'm probably just seeing
Yeah,
stuff on TV, that's all. But everyone sees bad
oh
stuff
yeah,
about
Right,
Portland
right,
on TV too, so
yeah, yeah.
it's all
right.
the
But
same. It's all the same.
man, the people in
Anywhere you
Philly were
go.
so cool. I loved it, man,
Yeah,
and I
no,
want to go
they're good
back.
people.
Mm.
They're
Like,
assholes too, but they're good people.
well, yeah, I mean, if you know, I mean, there are assholes everywhere, right?
Right.
You know, but
Mhm.
you'd probably agree with me, man, that when you're touring, you get to see most of the best of people, right? When you're out there, people are there at the venues that you're coming to have an escape and a release. They're there to, you know, appreciate the music. You know, they're not there to just stir shit up, right?
Mhm.
So we're fortunate in the industry that we're in that we get to bring some joy to people, right? You know,
Right.
and so for them, they can put all that other stuff aside, whether it's the
Right.
hood, right, you know, whatever. But I think maybe some people might take that for granted. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, it sounds to
Yeah.
me like you really appreciate the opportunities you've had. You don't squander that stuff, and you seem to, you know, recognize that you know, you bring a lot to the table. But
Mhm.
there's, you know, there's a lot of people. We all know a lot of people that don't recognize it, man. You know, you just take it for granted. But
Yeah, they do. A lot of people do.
what
A lot of people. I always preach
what's
that too. Like, be grateful. You know, you really could be worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, where somebody else has less than you. Like this, excuse me, that statement is very, very true. You know, you can go
yeah,
outside and see that shit.
yeah, like
You know what
10
I'm
feet
saying?
away, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go outside and see it.
All right. So as a dad, I mean, I ask this question a lot, but we've talked a lot about family stuff. So let me ask you,
Mhm.
what does, you know, like legacy mean to Boots Greene? Like, what is it that you want to be remembered for?
My honesty, and me keeping my word, and also being very, very helpful to other human beings, whether that be spiritually, mentally, financially, physically, whatever it is. Like however I can help you get better through my life. That's what I think I'm honestly here. I think that's what we're all the fuck here for, if you ask me. Like honestly, like, because we all go through the same somewhat thing. You know, we have the same somewhat lives. Like, we all have bills, we all have health, we all have financial, we all have family, we all have, you know, credit. We all have we all have a basket of shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, with that basket of shit also comes the emotions and the stress and the, you know, the persuasions and spending. Like, everything comes with that because we're human.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my thing is always to try to show people, you know, what I learned in my life, and either to take what I've learned and be like, oh shit, that's a good point, or oh, that was another good point, to not do that.
Yeah. Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's
Yeah.
not just I'm here, you know, gloating, and I'm like, oh, I've seen the world, y'all, and, you know, follow my life. And no, it's like, yo, listen, this shit ain't sweet out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it can be,
Mhm.
but it's like, it's what you make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I really want people to know me as being so straightforward, honest, spiritual, a father, you know, a real father, and an advocate of human beings growing, period, all around.
Sure.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
That's good
huge.
stuff, man. Yeah, buddy.
Mhm.
You have a guilty pleasure? Anything that people might not know about Boots Greene that you can reveal?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because I'll be chilling, bro. Like, I smoke my little green here and there, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I do my
yeah. No.
music, and I stay in the studio, I hang with my kids. I don't do much. So it's not nothing.
Any
I'm not a sneaky slick guy.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, like, you know, like some people, you know, I've had like metal guys on the show, right? Like I had bass player from Megadeth on, and I said, you know,
Oh,
what is
dope.
it somebody might be surprised by? And he said, man, I got a fascination with disco. And he pulled up his playlist, right? And he's got like old school 70s disco stuff on there. And nobody would expect that, right? From a metal dude.
Right.
But is there anything in your playlist, if we pulled up your Spotify or Apple playlist, anything that we'd be like, oh, wow, Boots?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I might find some like Japanese type of music, or something like that. Like, because I like that. I like that. I like the sound that they have. I really love it. I really love the sound that they have.
Dude, the guitar solos from Japan, early 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Late 90s.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, there's a different appreciation for technical music, right? In Japan, I mean, people, there's a reason like a lot of bands will go over and just kill in Japan and can't get any traction at all in the U.S., right? But isn't it crazy, man? That because you've done so much international travel, and we've done a lot the last couple of years too, man. Where I'll be so surprised. We did a gig in Manila in the Philippines, and you expect you're going to go and play some theaters, right? You get there and you're playing soccer arenas and people treat you like you're, the Beatles, man. I mean, just nuts, right? And isn't it crazy how some places in the planet just embrace different styles of music, like so much differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, it's a gift, right? Like, and then when that goes away, like COVID was tough. That's the whole reason I started doing the podcast. I was missing the guys that we were out touring with. So we just started doing, some BS on the radio, on the podcast. But what did you do during COVID? Is that when you wrote your book?
No, I wrote the book before that. Yeah, way before that.
Okay.
Yeah. During COVID, I was chilling, bro. No lie.
Just waiting it out.
Yeah, I was chilling. I had the church I was at the time, they still were doing some services with like the distancing and all that stuff, whatever. So that was kind of holding me over. But I was like, the book and all that came out. Yeah, that came out way before then. And that was just because I really felt, to be real with you, I always do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Is that fucking simple? And I mean that in the sense of like, I'm going to go figure it out. Right. So I wrote a book. I created some sneakers. I had Mapex create a kit to match the sneakers. Like I had clothing for a little bit. I did over 3 to 5, like between 3+ mixtapes, 5+ albums. Like these are things that I told myself that I want to fucking do. Like no one came to me and was like, bro, you should do this. Yo, you ever thought about blah, blah? It was like, no, I would be in my house smoking my weed by myself, chilling, and it would just click. And it'll be like, I want to write a book. Like people need to know my life and how it is being a musician that's a father and a professional musician that tours. Like that's a whole real lane that people don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Because they think it's really a glamour thing. They think it's really oh shit, he making money. He's like, and it's like, well, we do, but it ain't that easy. It ain't that sweet.
Right. Yeah. Right. We don't have pillars in our house.
No. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pillars. But it's like, for me, that's my main thing, bro. I mainly wanted people to see the book and all these things, and I did these things so they could see, damn, he really did. Like, there's no team.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a team, and the reason why is because I can't trust everybody.
Yeah,
like,
man.
They don't move on the same speed that I'm on. Like, I don't play when it comes to, like, if I wrote something down, we got a vision going, yo, God, I'm not like, God ain't gonna sit here and be like, all right, y'all ready yet? Y'all ready? Time is not gonna sit here and be like, all right, y'all got 5 minutes to start. It's like, no, that shit don't happen. It's like, once you say, all right, I'm gonna write a book, get the fuck up and go start writing the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It sound familiar, Caleb? Yeah, I mean, Boots, you're talking Caleb's story right now, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I'm impressed, man. I love that kind of tenacity and that drive, right? Because
I don't play.
I mean, you mentioned that like as a dad too, because you want your kids to be, motivated to go out there and find their way and their vision, man. But sounds like the legacy part that you were, that you're wanting to be known for, you're already out doing it. It's killer, man.
Thank you.
Just like Ryan said, he said, man, you guys would resonate on the same wavelength. I watched clips, and of course, man, I was just so impressed with your drumming. You're a fucking wicked drummer. But I love solid human beings, man, that just, speak from the heart, and you got that. So, well, yeah, even though we're all the way across the country from each other, man, we're going to overlap, right? So I want you to do me a favor, man. I want you to send me a link that I can actually get. I can post links to your book. Make sure that we get people out there, finding the Boots Greene story. Gotcha. And that picture that we used for promo, that was the Mapex kit you designed around your sneaks, right? Do you have those sneakers for sale? Are you marketing them?
They're still on sale. They're still out there. I just haven't marketed them for years.
Well, let me put them in the show notes, man. I mean, you never know. I'd love to be able to, send people to pick up some matching sneaks so they can match your kit. That's good stuff. Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that.
My pleasure, dude. And really, man, happy New Year to you, man. I'm really glad to get to formally meet you.
Same to you too. Freaking happy new ass year. Let's go.
Let's get it,
man. Right on.
We got two last things before I let you go.
Yep.
All right. So, I need to get that email from you with the you made some beats on.
Folder. Yep, with the folder. You're
awesome.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I want to look over those and see if I can apply myself. Also, you're all about honesty. We're all about, telling it how it is. So if I had to ask, who do you think won? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Oh, Kendrick.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, when you start coming out with singles, not a mixtape or a diss track. When you come out with singles that the radio plays, you won. You won.
It's pretty impressive to see how big that really got, man.
Yeah. Well, honestly.
The beef.
Yeah. It's crazy though. But what's crazy? This guy said he brought up a good point. He was like, a lot of people thought when Drake's house got shot, that was because of all that. And the reality was, no, it's because of Drake's going through something over there with another gang's whatever. And the reality is, just like, how the game is, if I see you going through something with somebody, I can make it look like that's you. You get what I'm saying?
Perfect time to strike, yeah.
Perfect time. And that was the exact words he said. He was like, the perfect time to strike. So, me personally, the reason also why Kendrick is going to win is because when you're talking about real hip-hop culture, Drake is not hip-hop culture.
Right.
He's not. And that's just be real.
He's a pop artist.
Right. He doesn't write his own stuff for real. He's another Puff.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I'm not talking
funny. He's another Puff as far as like he's an executive producer.
He's got the access. Right.
Right. So it's like, if I got people that can write for me and do all this and blah blah blah, why am I working extra hard?
Yeah. No reason. Literally, you could just sit back, enjoy the money. No point in.
But you got Kendrick. Speaks for itself.
He's rapping for something. He's proving a point.
There it is. So even with his mixtape, the one with his parents and stuff like that, like that vulnerable side, that being honest and being open and being out with everybody, because you already know everybody from Compton lived that life that he lived. So it's they already, once you get LA on your side, you kind of won. LA, New York, once you get them like those sides, you already won. So sorry, Drake, you from Canada, bro. Like, we don't, that's not hip hop culture.
Yeah.
If we're talking facts, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, when you're coming out with singles and albums that are involving diss songs, it's like, I don't care how much money you got and who your name is, bro. You lost. Like,
yeah.
If you have to address it at all,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. I'm really excited to see what you guys put together. If you guys can collaborate on some stuff, man, that'd be killer.
We are going,
man. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
easy.
That's all right. So, Boots, you're gonna hook me up with links to your sneaks and your book. I'll get those put in the show notes, guys. If you got here late, jump back to the beginning, man. This guy's got more stories and better perspective on this industry than anybody I've talked to so far. And then tomorrow, man, tune at the same time, 5:00, January 2nd. We've got there's this dude in LA, Boots, who has this basically like a mobile rock and roll museum that's an ice cream truck, and he's at all the shows, man. He was at Snoop's show down if you played that show at next to Staples Center. I'm trying to think of the Peacock Theater, like Snoop did a couple months ago, or
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, yeah. So this guy, it's Shant is the guy's name. He's got Archie's ice cream truck, and it's a mobile museum. It's a rock and roll, like it's packed full of stuff, man. Swag and autographs from everybody under the sun, all the way back to Zeppelin and the Who and the Rolling Stones to modern day hip hop guys. And so he's on my show tomorrow night because we're going to talk about all these crazy stories he's had with these shows. So 5 o'clock, guys. If you haven't done so, do me a favor. I'm going to give you a link right here. Subscribe to the channel at youtube.com/@accesskevin. And go back and look at 350 other episodes of killer artists that I've had on the show, man. And yeah, buddy, listen, the next time we do this, I'm going to be in Philly. Let's do this at your studio. Okay, we'll do it in person. You can show off your kit. Yeah, yeah. I want to see the kit, man. Maybe you can show off some chops and maybe we'll run through your rig. Show me how you prep one of these shows. Cool.
I don't care. Let's go.
Love it.
I'm chilling. Let me know. Let me know.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. You bet, man. You'll definitely be, and I'll drag you out to a Flock of Seagulls show. Cool.
I'm with that.
All right, man. All right, you guys have a beautiful evening. Boots, thank you so much. Boots Greene. Everybody hit him up at Instagram.com/boots_Greene with an E, right?
Yep. Green with an E, baby. Yep.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Be good humans. Let's make this right.
Yep. Thank you, guys.